Welcome back. I'm Reb. This is my crew, and today I have something exciting that I want to share with you. All right, everyone. My onion skin sketchbook is complete. I say onion skin because clearly I have made this. I really love the actual onion skin journals. They look so beautiful. I'm so jealous of Sophie McPike and the others that have them, but I just know myself, and if I spent $65 or so on a sketchbook, I would be terrified to use it. So I ended up making one out of some existing paper that I had. I'm also really trying hard to use my existing supplies as much as I can. So I had some vellum that I thought maybe would work, even though I think it's a little bit stiffer than like the actual onion skin sketchbook paper. It's definitely not as crinkly, but it is semi-translucent, so I think it kind of gives the same effect. So yeah, I followed a tutorial that Melissa Martin shared on the Art Hang Party Discord. It was really simple. Basically, you just fold a bunch of pieces of paper in half, just kind of line them up, glue the edge, and then put a little tape and a cover on it. So yeah, super simple tutorial. Originally I had a blue onion that was just this like blue color. It kind of matched the tape on the side here, but I ended up going over it with some of the neo colors, and honestly, I love how this drawing came out. It's one of my favorite things in here. So, and then this tape is from Paloma the Peach. It's like a clear tape with little stars on it, and I just thought that it really complemented the colors of this. So, let's take a look inside. So this sketchbook, I kind of inadvertently kind of had a theme. I did a couple drawings and then decided that I would kind of keep on with the garden kind of motif, so to speak. And I used a lot of pictures that I've taken of my own garden as references. So it ended up being kind of like a little memory / ode to my garden. This particular drawing kind of in the background here is a trellis with the peas that I grow, and it's got some little flowers and stuff, and then I named it Garden of Gratitude. Next page, this was actually like the first drawing. I will say right off the bat that none of these drawings happened in order. I kind of went back and forth in the book, really kind of unintentionally at first, but eventually so that the drawings on the front and the back would kind of talk to each other a little bit, or at least not interfere with each other, because the pages are transparent. So, but it ended up working out, and you know, even if they did interfere a little bit, it doesn't really matter. So this is a little basket full of a bunch of stuff that I grew. I won't go over all of the vegetables and stuff, but just know that, you know, it's kind of a big mix. I drew this in a purple calligraphy pen, and I thought that the ink was waterproof, but it turns out that it wasn't. So some of the colors kind of bled a little bit, but honestly, I'm not mad about it. And a lot of the things that I ended up growing this year were purple. These are like purple long beans and some dragon tongue beans, some black beauty, bell peppers. So it ended up working out great anyways. Over here I've got some little tomatoes in gouache. I'm still kind of learning how to use gouache, but I do like how these turned out. This next page is some sunrises, I guess, where I live. I live kind of like on a farm, sort of, and this is the tree line in the back, and in the mornings the sky always ends up having these like beautiful kind of like gradients that I really love. Sometimes it's more like pink, yellow, blue, but other times it's like orange and purple almost. And then we get like a lot of foggy kind of mornings as well, so it's really nice. This is a little painting, again in gouache, of a little basket of tomatoes. I don't know if you can tell from the scale of the grass and such, but the tomatoes are like really tiny. They're like little salad tomatoes. They're really great. This spread is a photo of my son kind of playing in a zucchini / summer squash patch. I don't know if anybody has ever grown zucchini or summer squash, but the leaves are huge, like huge. So he's just kind of peeking out underneath them. I didn't draw on the back of this one because I didn't want to necessarily like interfere with this drawing, but later on I think I cared a little bit less about that. So this is a little watermelon. This is also in gouache. Oh, I guess I should say this is Neocolor and some Prismacolor kind of with the details. I forgot to mention that. This is gouache. This was like the leftover gouache that I had from the tomatoes, so I just kind of painted that little pattern on there. This is acrylic gouache with Neocolors over top, and I really like how this turned out. I think that, I don't know, the orange kind of peeking through looks really beautiful. Really happy with this one. I don't know, maybe I'll make like a sticker or something out of it eventually. This is a little caterpillar that likes to eat our dill. Generally speaking, you know, you're supposed to pick off all the bugs and stuff, but I always let these just live on the dill. Honestly, there's so much dill all the time that it doesn't even matter. They can't get to it all. And then these actually turn into these really beautiful butterflies that you'll see later on. And shout out to Hippo because she was drawing some of these today in her live, so I thought that was pretty funny. Alright, next page is a little sprig of dill. This was done in marker as well. What is it? Alcohol marker. And then these little, I don't know, vegetable friends, I guess. They are done in Prismacolor. I probably should have done more on this page, but I don't know. I didn't want to. I was thinking about photographing these and maybe making some stickers or something out of them because I thought they came out so cute, so I didn't draw on the back of this page. Over here we have some eggplants. I added some white crayon to kind of create like a resist, and it kind of worked. It wasn't as like stark as I would have liked, but I still like how it came out, and these are actually fairly accurate to how the photo looked. They are kind of pinkish purple with like white streaks, so I thought it came out pretty good. Next page, this is, I want to say this is watercolor. I'm pretty sure this is watercolor. Watercolor was the only thing that I had I felt like a little bit of trouble with as far as getting it to stick to this paper. It wouldn't really absorb the way a lot of the other like mediums did, but you know, once you kind of worked it in a little bit, it was fine. But either way, I still really like how this turned out. This is a beet, and then a little radish here, and then I ended up drawing another beet on this side with a rainbow color pencil that I just recently got. and those are very fun to use, by the way. I am sad that I'm just now getting one. Alright, so next page is kind of a doozy. There is a time-lapse video that kind of goes along with this. There's a lot of different techniques on this page, or mediums, I guess I should say. I kind of went this way with these flowers. So this one was like a pen that, or I guess first I colored the page with a bunch of different colors, and it's alcohol ink, and then I wrote over it with a pen, and then kind of filled in a little bit with Prismacolor. This one was straight Prismacolor on top of the kind of pre-blobbinated page. This one was ink that I kind of dropped on and mixed, so it kind of created like a swirly kind of effect. This one was, you know, just kind of coloring on here with white Prismacolor, and then defining the like darker areas with more ink. This one here was kind of more like a negative space type drawing, where this part was all the pink and orange was already like pre-blobbinated, and I went in with the green ink to define the petals and the cone. And then this one was masking fluid that I kind of put in this light color here and went over it with some ink, and this worked out really well as far as like being very faithful to where I laid the ink, the masking fluid down. So I played a little bit with that later on as well. These are some more rainbow color pencil drawings. A little mockingbird, a little starling. I don't know, that pencil is so fun. I want to experiment some more with it, but I wanted to get through this sketchbook first, so we'll be seeing that some more. This page has a couple pen drawings. I got a Pilot Parallel pen for the Inktober challenge, and I figured I'd give it a little test drive here. And I really like how it draws. I like the variety of lines that it makes. very fun pen, so I definitely will be using that in my Inktober sketchbook. And then this one here is done with a calligraphy dip pen and this like ink that I recently got at a sale. So that a lot of fun. I think if I do, some drawings with that, I'll mention it when I do the tour for that. This is a squash vine borer, which if you grow squash, you probably have heard or dealt with these. They're these beautiful moths. It looks like a wasp, but it's actually a moth, and they're little twerps. I don't know. I guess I'll keep it PG. But they lay their eggs, and then the larva from the egg burrows into the base of the zucchini or squash plant and just kills the whole thing. And they don't even eat the actual vegetable. It's so infuriating. So my only suggestion to deal with these is to plant lots of zucchini and squash, and also succession plant. So anyways, end rant on the squash vine borer. Beautiful but destructive. This was a little painted bunting, which technically is not necessarily one of our local birds, but I had to draw it because of that rainbow color pencil, so I just included it in here. But it's so cute. It's got so much sass. This one might be a little bit hard to see. Maybe it will read, but it's a oil pastel, and it's like a metallic white oil pastel. Hopefully it catches it on the camera. But this is a cabbage moth, and then this is the butterfly that caterpillar from earlier turns into. Not the best drawing, but I still like it. And the butterfly itself is beautiful. So let them eat your plants. It's worth it. I'll put some paper. This next one is an attempt at painting my son in gouache. I'm still really getting used to the color shift that gouache has. When I was painting it, it really seemed lighter and, I don't know, more pink, I guess, than it came out. He looks like he has the most hardcore tan, but I promise you he is not that tan. But that's him just playing in the dirt, which is his basically number one pastime. This is a drawing of some of my garden tools. I put down some ink in the kind of general shape of the tools as best as I could, and it actually ended up being more faithful to the drawing than, I don't know, I guess I meant it to be. I would have liked to have had a little bit more kind of around the edges and stuff, like this. But when I actually made the drawing, I was like, oh, it's actually following the lines. So I did another one that kind of along the same lines, just kind of having a little fun with mixing these two mediums, like a kind of loose underdrawing / base or whatever, and then going over it with a pencil, or this happens to be a red China marker, and this is actually a black China marker. So Next page is a little hummingbird. This is a local bird. These come to our garden every year. I had laid down some green and then dropped in some red and just kind of let it bleed, and then drew over with Prismacolor. And I really like how this turned out, even though it's not quite right proportionally, but it's very cute. I thought it ended up looking pretty cute, so happy with that. Some more hummingbirds. This was with a rainbow pencil, and then just some drawings with some markers. This page, I really like how this turned out. This was me kind of playing again with the masking fluid, using it as a resist. And, you know, I basically put this down, then drew over the whole thing with some green ink, and then kind of went over some of the like darker kind of inner spots, and then did some of the detail in, I want to say it was like a brush pen, and then added some like the white jelly roll pens or whatever, for some of the like finer lines in here and some of the details in the butterfly. But yeah, I really loved how this turned out. Hopefully you guys can see it good, not too much glare. The ink itself has some metallic sheen to it, because some of the inks that I picked up were actually metallic. So but yeah, really like how it turned out. And then this is getting pretty close to the end. This was a drawing that I did during Sam Ashley's, I'm trying to remember what the name of the session was, but she had like a kind of co-create, you know, chat while everybody was working, and it was really fun. It was nice, you know, kind of working alongside people. You know, everybody's kind of doing their own thing and just talking about how art is healing. And yeah, I don't know, go check it out. I think that it was a really beautiful conversation, and I really enjoyed seeing everybody else's work and working on this while everybody else was doing their thing. And this ended up, you know, this picture itself is a picture of my son playing in the dirt. You know, there's a little shovel here and a little radish, but this is kind of what I was talking about, how the like transparency of the page kind of lends itself to kind of, you know, mixing things a little bit. So it kind of looks like he's reaching for a butterfly, which I thought was kind of neat. And yeah, I thought that was just kind of a little fun thing that ended up just happening, you know. This page here is a drawing of some spinach that I grow, and it's called Malabar spinach, and it's got these berries that, I mean, I guess technically they're edible. They don't taste that great, and they have seeds inside, so it's not really something that you really like consume. You just really eat the leaves. But they are so bright that, like, even just grabbing them, like, you stain your fingers. They're so bright. And I ended up making an ink and kind of covering this page a little bit, and then going over it with some Prismacolors, just, you know, drawing the actual plant. And I don't know, it's kind of subtle, but I really like how pretty, you know, the green and the purple look together. And, you know, I think it looks really neat. I'm trying to bring it up a little bit so you can see it. And then we've got my chickens, which this was done in alcohol marker. This is not all of them, but it's most of them. They are very silly and quirky, and they're a lot of fun. And if you own chickens, you know that it's basically like television watching them. And these are the eggs, the different color eggs that they make. I think that, aside from a little bit of shift of, value, it's pretty accurate, the colors that the chickens make. So Easter eggers and copper marrons, or cuckoo marrons, sorry. And then last page is just a little drawing of me and my son. He was sleeping on my shoulder as I was kind of working in the garden. And I like how this turned out. I'm not ragging on it in any way, but one day I will draw this picture in a way that justifies or does justice to the actual reference photo, because the actual reference photo is so freaking cute. But I thought that would be a nice way to finish out this book. So yeah, that is my onion skin journal all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this little sketchbook tour, and don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff to see more. We're coming up on Inktober, and I'm excited to bring you guys along on some of those drawings. Thanks for watching. Bye.